To all those who have spent the past 15 months calling Israelis, Jews, and really anyone who condemns terrorism, baby killers, war criminals, committers of genocide, to those who started demanding ceasefire before an IDF boot hit the ground in Gaza, before the blood had dried on the bodies of all those slain on October 7, to those who marched on Western streets only for Palestinian children, whilst ignoring the plight of the Israeli ones being dragged into tunnels by terrorists. Of course, not to mention all of those murdered. I'm talking to you here. I'm wondering if you managed to catch any of Hamas leader Khalil al-Hayya's words overnight. If you did, and I assume you would have because you appear to be quite big fans, I can only imagine how angry you must feel right now, how enraged, how badly let down, given your deep and unwavering commitment to fight for the lives of innocent Palestinians, which matters, by the way. I can only imagine your horror when he, in a public televised address, called the massacre of October 7 a source of pride for his people, and then promised to repeat it again and again at the earliest time possible. You must be feeling quite ill, because that would end the ceasefire, you realise, the one you've been demanding. And not only that, given what's happened over the past year and a bit, the immense suffering and loss on both sides of this war, the thought of it happening again must feel horrific to you. It goes against everything you say you stand for. Because as we now know firsthand, when Hamas kills Jews, which is exactly what al-Hayya is promising to do, they kill their own people as well. Even if you want to keep blaming Israel for their deaths, which is utterly ridiculous, but even if I can't budge you on that, it doesn't matter. If he has his way, if they repeat October 7, babies in Gaza will die again. As human shields, as collateral damage, as casualties of a war Israel will need to wage again to get whatever hostages are taken back and to curb the bloodshed. It'll be Groundhog Day. So regardless of where you apportion blame, babies in Gaza will die if he has his way. So where are you? Where are the condemnations? Where are the hysterical marches? I mean, I'm just going out on a limb here, but this leader sounds seriously genocidal. I mean, he's definitely planning to commit more war crimes. He's not being subtle. I mean, he's telling us directly. Where are all the protectors of Palestinian babies now? They need you now. Where are you? You've gone missing. I thought you cared. But you don't, do you? Otherwise, you'd fight against the real enemy of every single child born in Gaza, and that is Hamas. Prove me wrong. Here's your chance. Show that you are motivated solely by the welfare of innocent children. Tell him loudly, no. Tell him his own people have suffered enough, let alone the Israelis. Tell him you will not stand for it. And if you don't, know that you have been completely exposed for the frauds that you are. That you are against Palestinian deaths only if you can blame Israel for them. But an inside job, no, that's fine. Know that you are part of a shameful movement that has failed innocent children everywhere in immeasurable ways, particularly those in Gaza, almost more than anywhere else. Your support of murderous terrorists and your condemnation of the victims of it will hurt those babies in Gaza for decades to come more than any war with Israel ever will. You haven't saved them. You've given them a death sentence. As long as Hamas rules Gaza, generation after generation will suffer and die for their cause, with or without Israel's involvement. So I repeat, where are you? Your silence is deafening. Your voice was so loud before. Ceasefire, ceasefire. Why aren't you screaming that at him? He's just promised to start it again. We all know why. You've been exposed. And your failure to act now when those little Palestinian babies need you most is all the evidence we need. Prove me wrong, I'd love you to. Condemn him, the leader, and the death curse he's just put on all of his people. I know you won't, by the way. I do. But at least, maybe now, more of the world will realise that too, and see you for exactly who you are. Not the human rights activists and empathetic heroes you pretend to be, but the dangerous fools and the complicit cowards you are.